Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 7 of Cups to start us out today, okay? I feel like you're the type of person that is very emotionally honest with yourself, you know? You're someone who feels things deeply. Now, people may not know that about you, that you're a very sensitive person. People may not realize that you're somebody that does really have a gut feeling about things, you know, and everyone has this impression of Aries as being impulsive and sort of, you know, just going headfirst into everything without thinking. And yeah, maybe you don't think it through. You go on gut. You operate from your feelings here, okay? So I think that the 7 of Cups is it's this feeling that you've been kind of ignoring your gut feeling for a while. It's the recognition that, okay, something needs to kind of process, something needs to flow. Okay, stagnant water that's then becoming a little bit toxic. Yeah, and so I think that you're somebody who is having maybe a conflict between really caring for something, but then also realizing that it's time to move forward from it. Okay, and that seems like that's a kind of a tough thing. It's like we don't want to let go of something here, even though we know we need to. Okay, maybe it's a version of ourself, maybe it's some kind of guilt, maybe it's some kind of a memory or some kind of trauma. It's time to let go of something. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, and let's see what is going on. There we got the 2 of Swords. So that's, to me, the conflict between the mind and the intuition. We have a 5 of Pentacles, an Ace of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, and a Tower. Yes, moving forward into that Tower event. This is a life-changing moment. I don't feel that the Tower is necessarily a destruction, right? The Tower feels like a liberation. It feels like something it's been a toxic energy that's been weighing you down for a long time. This is freedom. This is you getting away from whatever that is. This is a liberation of your will. Okay? A liberation of your essence. Getting back to who you really know yourself to be. The 4 of Pentacles, maybe feeling safe, right? Maybe for the first time in a long time. So I think we have good cards here. They're challenging, yeah, but they're good cards, okay? Let's do the Path of the Serpent. There we have, see, right after the Tower, love, right? And we have a Prince of Swords. We have the High Priestess, and we have the 10 of Pentacles. This Tower is a necessary shift. It is a necessary liberation, freedom, revelation, seeing your truth and speaking your truth right now. Okay, embracing your power, embracing how you really truly feel, embracing the reality of your life as it is right now, and moving forward, freeing yourself. Maybe it's allowing yourself to let this Ace of Wands flow again. Your intention, your desire, your willpower, your great idea, your inspiration. Maybe the 7 of Cups is a bit of a writer's block. Okay, could be a creative blockage. The 7 of Cups could be a relationship or a situation that you feel is or has been restricting your essence, your true self, right? Has been containing your fire energy, has been trying to diminish your will and your energy. and your fire, right? Trying to cover that and contain that. And this is what's being liberated for you. Making the decision to step away from that toxic energy is allowing you to liberate your creative will and kind of like, open up your life again to manifesting your future. This is the ultimate fire card, and this is the ultimate earth card, right? This is fire, this is pure fire, pure will, pure intention. And this is the manifestation, fire and earth, the spiritual electrical circuit of creation. Okay? I feel like you're claiming your power. You're reclaiming your inner power. Okay? And I feel like that is worth the trouble of going through this process. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right here. Not with Dwight K. Schrute, but who should we use for this energetic cycle? Who haven't we used in a while? Let's choose Tiny Bob Ross. Happy little Bob. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, as we look around the room, we see our two major arcana energies. The Tower, of course, which is a pivotal moment. Okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that something's being destroyed, right? But it has that sort of feeling tone toward it. It kind of is like you're choosing to step into some uncertainty and some chaos. You're choosing to step into change. Okay? Making the choice to remove yourself from this toxic situation is freeing your energy to create the life you want. You've got to trust your intuition, because your intuition is being blocked by your conscious mind here. Your heart and your mind are sort of having a beef in the middle here, and it's choosing something that feels it kind of feels scary to move outside of this. Okay, even though you recognize this to be toxic, and your gut's telling you this isn't good for you, this isn't good for you, there's still that part of you that says this is familiar. This is comfortable. This is what I've known, Tap the like button if you need this message today. Okay? We have our two majors. We have the fire, which is back here, and it feels like this is what's being blocked in you. Okay? Of course, you have your water here. This is toxic water. This Two of Cups is really clean water down here. Okay? You've got your air cards in the environment/relationship position, as well as right here in the middle. Okay? Deciding what to do. I think it's about a relationship, a friendship, a relationship with someone or something that's preventing you from really liberating your energy, your vital energy, your creative energy, your willpower, your stamina, your health, your vitality, right? This could be a bad habit. This could be self-medicating energy. This could be overindulgence in some substance, right? Making the choice to step away from that. And it feels like it is a step into chaos, but it's a liberating energy. I feel like it's more about a relationship than anything else, but you have to take it how it resonates, okay? We've got our air energy, of course, and we have our earth, earth, and earth. Okay, our three earth cards. So the Two of Swords is really this isn't the card necessarily of choice, it's the card of needing to choose, or how you go about choosing something. And since we have these two cards together, I feel that there is a conflict between your heart and your mind, that your heart's feeling an attachment, it's familiar and it's comfortable even though it doesn't feel good. And your mind is perhaps using some rationalizing, to keep us stuck in that Seven of Cups. There's nothing better, I can't do it, it's all this negative thinking, right? But the Two of Swords shows really the key, the clue. It gives you the answer, right? Because at the very top of that card is the lunar crescent. That little moon at the top is telling you to trust your intuition. You've thought about it enough. You've looked at all sides of things. You've gone through every point of view and perspective that you could. Now it's time to sort of bypass your logical mind and trust the intuition. And it's confirmed by the high priestess being here in the position of the obstacle, the fear, the worry, the concern, the anxiety. Because you know what your soul is telling you to do. The message, I think, is very, very clear to your soul right now. But your mind is saying, whoa, hang on a second. Wait a minute. Maybe we don't have to do that. Maybe we can stay here. Maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe it'll get better. Because the two is a lot of thinking. And what we do when we think is we delay action. It's good to think, obviously, right? We do a lot of thinking, a lot of talking, a lot of hashing things out, a lot of working things out, with our words. At some point, that thinking has to stop, and the intuition has to bring you the answer. We think and think and think, and then you stop, and then the answer wells up from inside of you. Okay? It comes from the silence. But first you have to think, right? The Two of Swords, it's a multiplication sign. And it's really saying the more we think about it, the more we think about it. The more we analyze the situation and we split it up into its component pieces, the more pieces we have and the more things we have to think about. It's a never-ending process. We're doing the math, we're doing the long division, we're showing our work. At some point, we just stop. Because this is life, it's not a math problem. You stop, then the Two of Swords becomes a big X, saying stop thinking now. And let the answer come up from the silence. Okay? Let it come up from the silence. And really, the question is, should you or should you not stay here or leave or whatever it is? But the question is really trying to ask you, what is the power that you're going to step into? What is the next step for you? What is the way forward? What is your future here? And by knowing that your true long-term future is Ten of Pentacles, best life, you got all the marbles here, right? This is all the coins. This is the best life you could imagine. That's your real destiny. It means that the immediate future is a tower. If you want to get to the Ten of Pentacles, you got to go through the tower. And the tower means radical honesty. It means definitely a big shift in your life. Okay? A big change, a pivotal moment, an exclamation point. Yeah. It's not just a period or a comma that marks the transition from one section of the paragraph, one sentence to the next. It's an exclamation point. Okay? Down beneath the surface, Five of Pentacles. I feel like this is what your soul is really telling you, It's saying that the situation you're in now is not stable, first of all. It feels like you don't have security. And maybe it's a job, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a pet, a plant, I don't know. Something at work, at home, at school, doesn't really matter. But this is the thing that you've been not looking at, you need to look at. This is when you stub your toe, walk into the bathroom in the middle of the night, you stub your toe on the wall or something, and you don't want to look at it because you know it's going to be bad. And so it becomes kind of a neglect of ourselves, of just choosing not to look at it. And if you don't look at it, it's going to get infected, it's going to hurt more, and it's going to be bad, and well, then you got something that's festering, like a Seven of Cups. So you're looking at this, you're looking at the ground beneath your feet, and you're seeing that it's not as stable as you would have wished. Okay. This is a card of needing to change. It's basically saying things can't stay the way they are. And I believe this is what the silence is trying to tell you. As soon as you stop thinking, as soon as you stop the words, you stop the rationalizing, that voice from inside of you is going to say, things, the ground is shaky beneath our feet. We need to move somewhere. It's kind of saying this situation is not stable and not reliable. We need to go. Because I think what you're searching for and what you really want is safety, security, stability in life. You want that Four of Pentacles. Anytime we get a 5 in the tarot, right, we start looking around for the 4. Uh-oh, things are kind of, things are getting shaky. Where's the stability? And if you're searching for stability and this is what you want, I think it really means that that's not where you are right now. Okay. So the 5 of Pentacles, now we could look at this in terms of money, and we can say that the 5 of Pentacles, really understanding that the position you're in now, the job you have, the role or the employment you have is not a long-term thing. There's no security in that job. Okay? It's not a reliable thing. It's basically saying, don't get comfortable, because this could change at any minute. It's a very volatile thing, just as it is. You're standing on shaky ground, and you don't want to be ignorant of that, because then when things change, when something happens, it's going to be like the rug, was pulled out from underneath you. This is a relationship. It's one that does not feel reliable. It's where the other person doesn't seem as if they do what they say they're going to do. I think there has been a lot of broken promises here. Okay? And the Prince of Swords in the environment, yeah, there's been some manipulation. Okay? Or there's been some broken promises. There's been kind of a double standard or even like a two-faced kind of thing going on. The 5 of Pentacles is it's worry about material things. It's maybe a worry that says, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pay the bills next month. Okay, just things are not as safe and stable and secure as we want them to be. I feel like this is more about a relationship than finances, but it could be. Behind everything, the Ace of Wands in the background. That's your will, that's your attention, that is your inspiration. This is your fire. I feel like you're somebody who has a lot of good ideas. I feel like you're somebody who had a real vigor and a zest for life. And I feel like something in your life now, what I feel is a relationship, has now kind of like extinguished that fire a little bit, or at least kind of tempered it too much. Yeah, tempered it too much. Type destiny in the comments if you want to reclaim this creative power. To reclaim your will, your freedom, your ability to direct your life and focus your life where you want it to go. And there's so many images running through my head right now. I can see this as a relationship, as a job that's kind of stifling you, suffocating you. Okay? Substances. I mean, I can see this in so many different areas. You have to apply it to your life. This is what's being liberated by this tower. Okay? It is your will and your freedom to do your will. This maybe is your ambition. Maybe this is your creativity. And the situation you're in now is suppressing that ambition and that creativity. And your intuition knows it. Your soul knows it. I think your soul knows that the situation you're in now, whether it's at work, at home, at school, it's a relationship, it's a whatever, it's not meant to be permanent. It's a temporary thing. And it's time to put an exclamation point at the end of that sentence and speak the next sentence. What's the next sentence for you? Leave that in the comments. What is the next sentence in your life? Because it's not really about what you're leaving. It's not about the tower moment. The exclamation point here, this is just the transition from the old sentence to the next thought. The next complete sentence of your life, which is love and flow and happiness and reciprocity and respect, encouragement, empowerment, healing, real love, and real abundance. Maybe you're staying here because as much as you know intuitively that it's not safe or stable or secure, it feels kind of better than nothing. You know? Feels better than nothing. The Four of Pentacles at the top here, this is kind of the card of like what you're wishing for, what you're hoping for. And this is real, this is something tangible. This is something like you really could like hold on to. Something that you want to keep. Something that feels reliable. A person, a relationship, a job. And it feels like there's power in it. And it's not costing you your power just to hang on to it. Okay? So this is that goal of stability. And I want to hear your story. Drop it in the comments. What is your stability? What is the safety, security, and stability that you're seeking? Is it the stable relationship, friendships, family stuff? Is it finances? Is it the job? Okay? And perhaps the compromise is between wanting the stability and also wanting the freedom for your creative will. And how is that, what's the dynamic between these two? Because sometimes, well, 4 plus an ace, right, gives us the 5. Okay. You could be in a situation now that feels relatively stable, but is containing your creative will, is pushing it back, squeezing it, suppressing it, kind of turning it down, lowering the flame on your creativity, or on your ambition, or on your will, or on what your intention, or what what you really want to manifest, your inspiration. It feels relatively stable, but it's concealing who you really are, holding you back. Okay? And your soul, that 5 of Pentacles, may be saying that, look, this 4 of Pentacles, this situation that you're in, whatever stability it has, is not real anyway. The 4 of the Tarot especially reminds us that everything is impermanent. So I kind of feel like you're making the choice to take a risk, that you would rather liberate yourself and liberate your will than to cling to something with a false sense of security. Leave me another comment. Let me know what synchronicities you've been experiencing lately. Because I feel like something is telling you that a very, very major event is happening in your life very, very soon. I feel like there's generally a vibe that something amazing is coming. That's something that is, it's kind of terrible, right, in a very amazing way. And it may be something that really is going to shake our core beliefs, right? The Tower is going to shake your foundations. The Tower is going to shake your 4 of Pentacles. It's going to shatter your illusions of what you thought your life could be, right? It's gonna a little bit of a strong breeze, and this 4 of Pentacles is going to crumble. And then I think it's going to lead to this revelation or this realization for you that it wasn't all that stable to begin with. And the aftermath seems to be, I should have done that way sooner. I should have walked away from that a long time ago. Okay? It's almost reminding me of an Jing hexagram where there is the ridgepole that's sagging. The roof is about to collapse, right? And the message of the Jing is, you better get out of that house before the roof collapses. And so I kind of feel that's a little bit of what's going on here, that you're clinging to something that gives you a false sense of security. But if you don't move forward voluntarily and make the decision, then it's kind of like it's inevitably going to collapse anyway. Okay? Inevitably. Yeah. So the Tower, stepping forward, this is the next move for you. This is the immediate future. Major change. This is the moment where everything changes. Okay? There's going to be life before this, which is you basically here in the vertical axis of the path of the dove. Wanting safety, security, and stability, clinging to a false sense of security, knowing that the ground is rather shaky under your feet, feeling kind of stuck, knowing the truth but unsure what to do. That's going to be the old energy. Okay? That's going to be the old energy. Your choice really is between clinging to this or letting something go. Making the choice to cut the cord here and step into the truth, even though the truth is going to be kind of chaotic at first. This is the energy you're stepping into. The future, this is what's in the future, primarily these two. Okay, this is your general energy, and this is the sort of long-term destiny, and this is what you got to walk through to get there. Okay, but the tower is that pivotal moment. There's life before the tower and life after the tower. This is the moment where you're gonna tell your kids and your grandkids and your grandkids, like that. This was the moment that your life changed, right? Big changes happening. Yeah. And you could be cutting the cord on a toxic friendship or a relationship or, a job or something like that that's been suppressing your fire. Because you're trying to liberate this. You're trying to liberate this Ace of Wands. Okay. And I feel like you're doing that. And that's going to take us to the path of the serpent. Now, of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. And I'd love to hear your interpretation of this message. Show me how it applies to your life. Okay? Subscribe to the channel. Join our community here. Okay? Your general energy. Two of Cups, love. Love, right? This is now a relationship that doesn't feel toxic. It feels supportive, right? The Two of Cups is a card of attraction. It's a card of purity. It looks like clean, drinkable water, whereas this looks like, I don't want to drink that water. This is water you want to drink, right? This is nourishing love. This is a relationship that is supportive, that's encouraging. This is someone that's got your back, someone that wants your highest good, someone that really is there for you. This is romantic love, yeah, but it's also platonic love. It's also self-love, and it's also divine love. Stepping through that tower is getting rid of the false love of the Seven of Cups and bringing you to real love. And maybe the first step here is you're feeling better about yourself. You're saying, God, I can't believe I was in that Seven of Cups for so long. You love yourself more than that. But sometimes we all get stuck in the Seven of Cups. I used to drink a lot. I don't anymore. Okay? And I think one of the reasons why I drank so much was because I didn't love myself. Or I didn't find that place within me where I loved myself. Okay, and maybe that's a cliche, maybe that doesn't apply to you, but it just is one example of how this energy shift is taking place. The whole thing comes down to this. Let's get all this stuff out of the way. It's that. You're going through the tower, but look what's on the other side of that tower. You could stay here because it's familiar and it's stable, but under the surface you realize it's not actually all that stable, right? And you realize that your true self, your essence, your fire is kind of being suppressed underneath that. But you have to choose to embrace that tower. It's going to happen eventually, whether you choose it or not. I think if you choose it, you have a little bit more control over how it goes down. Okay? Rather than be surprise tower moment. If this is a relationship, it's not going to work out anyway. Okay? Let's put the cards back where they were, and we'll move on. Okay, I think that's how they were. In the position of your relationships, you have a Prince of Swords. It's a fixed air energy. It's double air. It's air and air. So to me, it feels like there is a relationship that you're in And maybe they're an air sign person, could be Aquarius if we're going to get specific. It doesn't really matter. Someone about your age, contemporary person. It could be romance, could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a coworker. It doesn't really matter. But what matters is that I think they're trying to, or they have been, manipulating you. They have been convincing you that the Seven of Cups is the best you can do, or as good as it will get, or trying to tell you that you should be thankful or grateful for what you have, even though it kind of feels that it's stifling you, or it's trying to extinguish your fire. Okay, this is somebody that may be gaslighting you. This is somebody that may be making a lot of promises in order to keep you where you are. Okay, telling you, okay, well, I know it's a Seven of Cups now, but I promise things will get better, right? Promising change, but never delivering. Type destiny in the comments if you feel like this is for you. You're reawakening to your inner light. This is your power to manifest. This is your power generally. This is your attention. This is literally just the fire of your spirit. And I don't want to see this in the past. I want to see this in you right now, right here, turning up the heat, turning up the brightness. Trusting yourself, okay? Whoever this person is, they don't get to decide what's right for you, okay? Sound off in the comments if you're ready to be shaken by this tower, if you're ready to shake things up with this tower. And that Two of Swords starting to look a lot like a pair of scissors to me. We're cutting the cord. We're cutting off that negative energy, cutting off that manipulation, cutting off that gaslighting. Maybe this is really making the decision that we're just I'm gonna stop drinking, you know, or I'm gonna stop putting myself in that kind of a relationship. And maybe it just takes an act of willpower to do something different. Because maybe we've tried a lot of things already, a lot of things haven't worked. The tower might be saying we have to really wake up and we have to do something kind of, you know, big change. Yeah. Rather than trying to do the same things we've always done, even though they haven't worked. And so that's what the sevens are sometimes. The sevens are kind of like banging our heads against walls. All of the sevens. Okay? And this, with the Seven of Cups, I feel like you've been banging your heart against the wall. You know, it's kind of, it's an emotional wall, I guess. Yeah. The High Priestess is in the position of the fear, worry, and concern. You're being asked by Spirit, by your own soul, by the light of the divine, by the cosmic energy, to trust. Okay? To trust that the tower is going to be for your benefit, for your highest good. See, the High Priestess is asking you to be the hanged man. They're in very similar attitudes, only inverted, right? So the High Priestess is that divine energy asking for your hand, saying, trust me. Follow me through this tower moment. And yeah, life's going to get pretty bumpy for a minute, but it's for your highest good. The tower doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. Okay? But you're nervous about trusting the High Priestess. And yeah, it makes sense. The High Priestess is card number 2. Card number 3 is the Empress. The High Priestess is always leading you to your best life. Always. Okay? And it's important that you do everything that you can think of first. And then at the very end, Remember, it's with the Two of Swords. You think and think and think and think and think. You look at every possible angle. You try everything you can think of, and then you surrender to that lunar energy, and you let the answer well up from inside of you. And in that silence, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Write it down. Put it in the comments. What's the first thing that your gut is telling you? You know what your soul really wants. You know, it's kind of like when you're trying to decide what to have for dinner, and you say, okay, heads is going to be Chinese food, tails will be Mexican food. And you flip the coin, and right when it's in the air, that's when you know, oh, I really want it to be the Mexican food tonight. Or when it lands, and, oh, it's heads, Chinese, I really wanted Mexican. Well, you have your answer. You're flipping the coin not to decide what to do, but to teach you. You're using it as a mirror so that you can say, oh, hey, wait, I really wanted the Mexican food, or the Chinese, depending on the night, whatever. Because that answer's in there for you, okay? Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, okay? Share this video with somebody that needs to trust their intuition, because they're in a situation that they know they should get out of. For some reason, they haven't got out of it yet. What's waiting for you in the long term, 10 of Pentacles, that's your destiny. This is your best life. This is basically, well, all the Pentacles cards of the Tarot, let me tell you, all of them are trying to transform into the Empress. Even the 5 of Pentacles, even the 4 of Pentacles, has the potential to transform into the Empress card. Many of them don't. The 10 is the one that really is. This is the vision of your best life. You got your pets, your plants, your people. I was going to say your pants. You got those too, probably. This is the vision, the details of what you want your life to be. Get out a sheet of paper, get out a pencil, draw a picture of your best life. Or if you're like me, you can't draw, just make a list. Top 10. What do you need in your life? What do you want in your life? And maybe this is an exercise for your journal. Maybe you want to type it into the comments or something, or phone a friend. What are the top 10 things you want in your life? And how is your current situation? You know the one I'm talking about. How is that helping you or hindering you from having this life that you want? I feel like there is a frustration, and I feel like a choice needs to be made before this tower. Remember I said that it's going to happen anyway. You either choose it or it's going to just sort of happen on its own. And when it happens on its own, it's going to be way worse. Okay? If you don't make a decision for yourself now to express whatever is inside of you and clear away this blockage, it's going to come out as rage, as anger. Okay? It's okay for you to feel angry, but you need to release that in some way that's healthy and positive and constructive. Maybe this means that you don't have to continue to put up with this relationship. You don't have to continue. Sometimes we just need to get mad and say, I'm mad and I'm not going to take this anymore. Okay? Let me know which part of this reading is really hitting you the hardest. Okay? Let's look at the mystery card. Empress, right? It's got to be. Or it's going to be another card of liberation. Okay, it could be a divine doorway. It could be the moon card. It could be the eon card. Yeah. I kind of feel eon, judgment. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. And tell me if you feel the shift happening too. I feel like something major is coming. Something major is taking place. I feel like we have to choose it, and we have to move forward into it and embrace it, accept it, trust it. Let's see what we have. Another tower. Another tower. You have the tower or you have the tower. This can either be a choice, or, you can either do it the easy way or the hard way, right? But one way or the other, it's going to happen. So we either embrace it, we ease into it, we lean into it, we accept it, and we have some sort of say in how it plays out, or we deny it, we ignore it, we reject it, we refuse it, we resist it, and it's way worse. Okay? It's kind of Spirit's way of saying you're either going to do it the easy way or the hard way. And this isn't a punishment. The Tower is not a punishment. The Tower is a liberation of your energy. It's freeing you from something that's been holding you back. But you've been clinging to it. We all do. We cling to it. And sometimes Spirit has to pry it out of our fingers. And that doesn't feel good. So it's either we give it up voluntarily, we let it go, or it's going to be peeled away from us in a way that's going to feel a lot worse. Okay? Hit the like button if you're going to claim this timeline. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Aries Wednesday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.